Hey, it says we're
Sweet.
live, guys. We're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my guest is East Coast Flipper. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So first of all, guys, today is the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July for everybody coming by and hanging out with us today. We're having technical difficulties, so if Omar goes blurry and it looks like the HBO special, just kind of stick with us because this stuff happens. So I wanted to say hey to the flipping accountant that's here in the house. He says, "Let's go." We have Sneaker Hype is here with the fire emojis, and we have Julian is here. It says, "Yo." So go
What's
ahead,
up?
Omar, man. You go ahead and introduce yourself real quick. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from. You're on the East Coast, and tell them what
Yeah,
it is that you do, bro.
cool. So I'm from Virginia. I'm on the East Coast. I'm a reseller full time. I sell on eBay, Amazon, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. Um, I do a little bit of stock trading, on the side, a little bit of crypto trading on the side, just as another stream of income.
Right.
I have kind of like a group of people that I kind of like mentor, and I kind of give like tips and tricks and give like bolos and stuff that you can flip. Um, so I have like a couple different, different streams of income going on, but self-employed, basically. That's, that's about it.
All right, cool. So you're self-employed. So tell me how this came to be. So you graduated high school, you walked across the stage, you got your diploma, and then all of a sudden you were self-employed and you became a reseller. Tell us a little bit of backstory of how all this came about, bro.
Yeah, so the whole reselling adventure kind of started off at okay, it's really weird. It started off as a young age. I started off playing a video game called RuneScape, right? And in the video game, you can buy and sell stuff to other players. So I would buy stuff for cheap and sell it to other players in the game and make profit off that. And I was like
Right.
10 years old doing that. I didn't know that was business or reselling. That's kind of just like I was just trying to make money. And then high school came around and I started reselling. And the first thing I resold was Funko Pops because Funko Pops were like really hot. I mean, they're still really hot, but they were really hot back then. So I would go to stores, buy the Funko Pops, sell them on eBay. And that's kind of how I got like my first taste of like the reseller life.
So you've been basically selling ever since you got out of high school, right? Been a youngster reseller. Tell us how did that happen? Were your family
Okay.
reseller? Tell us what happened, bro.
So no one in my family really resold. No one really did business in my family. I was kind of the only one. I didn't have any friends who were doing it. The only people I was like watching were YouTubers. Those were the people like I could relate to. So um, I saw this guy called Paul Cantu, and
Yeah.
he would go to thrift shops and find like vintage clothing and sell them on his website. And that's kind of like what made me think like, oh, this could be like a business. Like this could be like a real income, right? So
Yeah.
I started going to thrift shops. Like I started going to Goodwills, and I was finding vintage clothing just like he was. So I was like, yo, I can do this shit too. Um, so it just snowballed from there. It went from Funko Pops to vintage tees to like electronics to books, video games, and now everything. Like anything I can sell, I'll sell it.
Yeah, if you guys don't know Paul Cantu, you should check him out. I'm a subscriber of his channel. He's got a huge channel. I think it's like 400,000 subscribers or something. And he
He's
goes
like,
out thrifting almost every day looking for stuff to resell. So I'm gonna give a shout out here to my buddy Kelly Reseller Louise is in the chat. The Hollywood Reseller is here. It says, "Hey everybody, we have fearfully and wonderfully made." So hey, thank you for coming by and hanging out. And we have Julian Coins is in the chat. So if you guys have questions
Julian
for our guest,
Coins.
yeah,
What's up,
and we
Julian?
have Carrie Picker Flipper just stopped by. Says, "Hey, where do you find most of your items to resell?" So, can you drop some knowledge on us? What is kind of like your area, your bread and butter stuff? Like, what's your niche that you specialize in, and how do you go about finding merchandise to resell? So, if someone is newer in the game, because you said you're out here coaching people now too, so tell me
I
how that's
mean,
working out for you, bro.
kind of. I'm trying to get to that point. I'm not like a guru or anything, but
Oh, okay,
um, so for each platform, I kind of have different places that I source from. Like for Amazon, I'll go to retail stores, or I'll buy stuff from retail online stores. Like Walmart, Ollie's, Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that. Because I try to buy stuff that's in new condition. For Amazon, you can sell used on Amazon too, which is kind of how I started selling used electronics. But right now for Amazon, I buy stuff new from retail stores. For eBay, I still do the same thing: thrift shops, yard sales, Facebook Marketplace, like, you know, stuff like that. That's what I do for eBay and Mercari. Mostly used stuff, or if it's a new item and I can't sell it on Amazon, then I'll sell it on eBay. But yeah, just thrift shops, yard sales, flea markets, Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that, you know.
Okay, now this is one of the things I've been waiting for months to have you on the show. So we got to talk about this. This is the first thing that stood out to me. I think I saw you maybe about 5 or 6 months ago. You were on with Kelly Reseller Louise and Loan for a Picker on Mindful Merchants. And so I went and checked out your Instagram. And the first thing I saw on your Instagram page, it says Road to a Million. So tell everybody what that's about, because I just love it, man. Because when someone says that, that means they got to put out a hell of amount of workload, a hell of a lot of kind of work ethic to get to that point. So when you put Road to a Million, I'm like, I got to reach out to this guy, Omar. We got to meet up. We got to connect. You got to get to the bottom of it and tell us what the whole strategy is, how you're going from zero to your Road to a Million. So tell us all about this, bro.
The Road to a Million. So that's something that kind of started at the beginning of this year. I just kind of like was seeing like every year I was doing better than last year. Every year I was getting more sales, more profit than the year before. So I was just like at first I was like, man, I want to be a six-figure seller, you know, that'd be really cool, you know. And then I got to that point, which was amazing. That was great. But I'm ready for the next level, man. Like I'm not trying to put myself in a box. Like I'm ready for the million. I'm ready for the 5 million, the 10 million, the 20 million. Like I'm not gonna stop. Like I'm gonna keep grinding this until I got like generational wealth.
Okay.
So I want to retire when I'm 45 or 40. You know, something like that.
Well, you're still a young guy. How old are you right now, Omar?
I'm 26 right now. 26.
Right.
Yeah.
So I always thought when I was a kid, I always thought that it would be great to be, 35, 40 years old and just sit back and be chilling. And now I'm 37. And then some days I'll work harder than I ever worked in my life. Because it's not just like, it's not manually hours of you putting in 10, 12, 14-hour days. It's just doing a bunch of stuff. So it's like sometimes it's like, all right, now I'm working on my YouTube game. Now I'm working on resale. Like I was outsourcing today on the 4th of July. I picked this up for $1 at the Dollar Tree and it sells for $20. So I'm outsourcing even on the holidays. And so it's like, I always thought like, man, once I get to this point, I'm just going to, in my mind, I'm like, I'm just going to be on the beach chilling somewhere. And just now once you get to that certain area, it's not plateau. It's almost like you got to keep working to get to where you want to be. Because I would like to get to that point where, you have enough different streams of income coming in every month or you're good. So if something happens, you've got 6 months emergency fund set aside to pay your bills. If if you get a flat tire, you're sick, whatever it is, you're good. So man, tell me about this. So what's your plan? Because you said, tell everybody what your sales were last year for 2020. So they just to give them kind of a context of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so I mean, last year, if we add up all the different platforms, I'm pretty sure I did like 270,000 in sales, like really close to, thank you, really close to 300,000 in sales. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and I was really close to like my profit being close to 100,000. That was like my main goal, but like I didn't get there. I was kind of close, I'm not going to say the exact number, but it was almost there, kind of. So like the reason why I really feel confident about this like Road to a Million is because of the multiple streams of income, like you just mentioned. Like if I was just doing eBay, I probably wouldn't feel as confident because unless I had employees, right? But if I'm working by myself and I'm just doing eBay, you can only scale your eBay business up so much because you're doing everything yourself, right? But with Amazon, especially with FBA, I can scale that by myself because Amazon is my employee. I send all my stuff to them. They do all the hard work for me. So the fact that I have eBay, Amazon, Mercari, and then like all these other little things like stock market and the little, Discord group that I have, the multiple streams of income is what makes me feel confident enough that I can like really smash this goal and like actually Road to a Million sounds realistic because of the streams of income,
Yeah, and so it sounds like a big part of that is you having to reinvest to get more merchandise because it doesn't sound like you said last year you did what 280,000 last year gross, and you probably
Yeah.
made about 100,000 net. And for you to
Uh,
kind of like double your sales from the year before, you have to take a good chunk of that and kind of reinvest it back in your business, right?
yeah, definitely, definitely. I reinvest a lot of profit into my business. Like I don't really like pay myself per se. Um, I a lot of the stuff I make, I reinvest into the business. Like, of course, I keep some of it and put it into my savings account or whatever for like my personal funds. But I reinvest a lot, and I think that's really important because, like, unless like, me personally, I didn't want to take any credit, any loans, any debt. So I have to reinvest my profits, if I want to keep the business going. It would be nice to take a fat paycheck and just go on a vacation or buy myself something really nice. But like, I know that the right thing to do is to reinvest.
All right. So I'm with you, bro. Yeah. Because on my end, I want to be able to just, if something does happen, I don't want anybody calling me saying you have an outstanding payment for a credit card, student
Right.
loan, car payment, none of that.
Yeah.
I'm paying everything straight cash. So when you're saying that, so kind of talk to me a little bit about what your plans are, how you're going to stair sell it stuff it and grow your business, because the majority of your sales are on Amazon, correct? But you also do
Correct.
eBay and you do other platforms. So how do you plan on growing and scaling your business on this road to a million? Because when people talk like that, it gets me excited because it tells me that you're not just doing the 9 to 5 and coming home and watching Wheel of Fortune. Like you're out here hustling and you
Right.
got to put out that energy into the universe to get the energy to come back. So tell me about what your
Right.
plans are.
Yeah. So my goal is to be at the point where I don't even have to touch my eBay business at all. Like I want to have someone. I'm already like talking to a couple people. One person that could list the items for me, and then one person that could pack and ship the items for me. Or I could just have one person do both of them. I'm still like in discussion, but basically, I want the eBay business to be ran by employees, and I want the Amazon business to be like my main focus. Because eBay is like amazing. Like I don't want to understate eBay. Like Amazon is great. Like you can do big numbers on Amazon, but eBay you can do big numbers too. Um, so I kind of just want to get to the point where I'm just sourcing and I'm just buying the product or doing research and trying to find the next product. And I want everything else to be done by like people, like employees. Like I want to create jobs. That's kind of one of the reasons why I got this really big storage unit, is because I want to have enough space where I could hire people and they could work out of the storage unit instead of having them come to my personal apartment. It just, I want to have all of the work being done by people that I employ, so I can just do the fun stuff, which is the sourcing. So yeah.
Yeah, bro. So that's the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. If you guys don't follow Omar, East Coast Flipper, all his links to YouTube and Instagram is down in the description. But he just recently got this big, huge storage unit. I mean, I saw a photo of you and I wanted to put that in the thumbnail of the video because I was like, man, it's just, you got this huge, wide open storage space. Tell us how big this storage unit is and what is your plans going with this storage unit? Like, what are you going to be putting in there? Is that going to be like your little mini warehouse? What are you gonna do with the storage unit?
Yeah, so right now it's a 10 by 25. And they also told me I could upgrade to a 10 by 30 in the future if I want to. So I'm kind of going to turn it into a mini warehouse, like you just said. And I'm going to just try to make it look like a miniature Amazon fulfillment center, almost, if that makes sense. So when I want all the work to be done out of the storage unit, warehouse, whatever you want to call it. I want that to be where everything gets done, like the photo taking, the listing, the packing, the shipping, the storage, like all of that stuff's going to be done there. So I'm kind of going to treat it like almost like a 9 to 5, kind of. Not really those same exact hours, but my mindset is when I'm there, I'm clocked into work, right? When I'm in the storage unit, I'm working. Like I'm not on my phone, I'm not messing around. I clocked into work, I'm going to work until I clock out. Like when I am at home and I can list and do stuff at home, that's convenient. But it's like there's so many distractions when you're at home and you're trying to get work done. Like I got my phone, my computer, my Nintendo Switch, like everything. So that's kind of why I wanted to separate the work from home so I can get more
Yeah.
work done and be more focused.
So when you go to the storage unit, are you going to have eBay merchandise in there, or are you going to be doing like Amazon merchant fulfilled? Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to be storing in there? Like, what type of merchandise is it that you're going to have into this storage unit?
Yeah, so on the right side is where I'm going to put my eBay inventory, Mercari inventory, and on the left side against the wall is where I'm going to put like Amazon inventory, like stuff that I have to send to Amazon, or I have a couple things that I do for merchant fulfilled because certain items you can't send to Amazon, like hazmat, things that come in like a spray can. You can't really send those to Amazon. You have to sell those yourself. So I have both inventory just kind of separated in different sides of the room, you know.
All right, cool. Let me catch. We're live. Let me catch the chat real quick. First of all,
Sure.
happy 4th of July for everybody. Hope you guys have a good 4th of July weekend. And thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We have eBliss Reseller Solutions is here. They said happy 4th, everybody. Dave and Lori. I wanted to say hey to the Cap guy is here, and JT is in the house. We got Nakoma Finds is here in the house. We have
What's up?
Julian is here. I wanted to say hey to Twin Flippers, Kelly Reseller Louise, and Cherry Picker Flipper. So we have a couple questions here. Julian wants to know, do you do yard sales? Do you go to yard sales?
Yard sales, not as much as I used to, but I'm actually gonna start getting back into that because, man, I've been watching like there's two apps to use for yard sales called Yard Sale Treasure Map, and then the other one is just called Garage Sale Finder. There's two different ones, right? So I've been looking at those the past few weekends, and it's just like loaded. Like I've never seen that many yard sales in this area before. I guess it's because it's like summertime, and it's like that's around the time when people start doing yard sales, right? Yard sales, the potential for profit is insane. Like you're buying stuff for a couple dollars, and if you really pick, you can find stuff that you can get like 500% ROI. Like that's really not unheard of when it comes to yard sales. So I'm gonna start going to yard sales more. I just gotta start waking up early because people go really early. Like if they say the yard sale starts at 8 a.m., people will go like an hour early, right? And
Right, right.
the competition for yard sales is actually kind of fierce, but it's a numbers game. You just hit up as many as you possibly can, and eventually you're gonna find like a really good deal, and that will pay for all your time spent, you know, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Now I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things today. Tell me a little bit about your retail arbitrage strategy. So do you go a lot of retail arbitrage like clearance at Walmart or
Yeah.
Lowe's or Home Depot? Tell us a little bit about what you're looking for when you're out doing retail arbitrage.
So retail arbitrage, there's kind of a few different ways. The first one, of course, is clearance items. Like anytime I see an item on clearance, I scan it on the Amazon app like right away. That's the thing that most people know about that, clearance items. You know, when you go to retail stores, look for stuff on sale, stuff on clearance. But man, I'll just scan stuff that like, if it looks interesting, if it piques my interest, like, oh, this looks like it could be worth something, I'll scan it. You know, like anything that looks mildly interesting, I will scan it. What I used to start doing is I would just go to a store and literally scan everything. Like I would spend an hour, 2 hours at a Walmart and just scan everything. And that kind of gives you an idea of what stuff, like what categories might be profitable and which ones are not that profitable, right? Like I would go to the toy section and the electronic section, and I would find more profitable stuff in those sections compared to like beauty or home goods or like you know, kitchen decor and stuff like that. So then I just started focusing on those categories more, like, you know, toys, electronics, and stuff like that, even groceries. I have a whole bunch of different like strategies when it comes to retail arbitrage. It depends if are we talking in store, right? Only in store?
However whatever works for you, whatever your strategy is that works for you, because you know I sell, I have a, you know, I sell on eBay, but my sales were nowhere near $280,000 last year. So we're coming here to talk to you to find out what works for you, bro. So if you do
Gotcha.
online arbitrage, if you do retail arbitrage, whatever your strategies are that's working for you to help you generate revenue.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just go over a couple different strategies then. So like usually when I find something in store that's profitable, I will go to all the other stores and try to find that same exact product. And there's a couple different websites like BrickSeek where you can track the inventory of each store and you can see if it's on sale in the other stores too. If it is, I go in there and I just buy the same stuff. Like, you know, if something sells well, or if I think it might sell well, I'll buy a couple of them to test it, and then I'll go back and just clear the whole area basically. Um, and shit, here's another one. Like whenever there's a new product coming out, like I'm always on social media, Reddit, and anytime there's a new product coming out, like a new toy, a new video game, a new console, a new collectible, I always try to see, like, is this going to be resellable? Is it going to be flippable? Like they had a bunch of these Masters of the Universe toys that came out like a few months ago, and I just had it on my radar, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see if this is gonna be worth something, and it was when it first came out. So I was just buying all of them up and just, you know, flipping them like that. So new products, always keep an eye out when there's a new product, a new collaboration or whatever. Always keep an eye out. Like new flavors of Oreos, look that up.
All right, cool. Right. All right. So Omar, tell me a little bit about Amazon. The majority of my audience sells on eBay. So kind of give us kind of what your strategy is on Amazon in a nutshell, because a lot of new sellers, when they get onto the platform, they're gated in a lot of categories. So give us the whole ins and outs on selling on Amazon, because that's where you get the majority of your sales come from, right? Is on Amazon.
Yeah, majority of my sales are from Amazon. So a lot of people are going to be gated at first, which is kind of unfortunate. And like more and more stuff gets gated over time. Amazon, they kind of are making it hard for new sellers because, I mean, if you think about it, Amazon doesn't really need new sellers per se. So they're kind of really picky and choosy. But I would not let that like get you down, because when I first started Amazon, I could barely sell anything either. You just got to find the stuff that you can sell and kind of focus on those categories. So everyone can sell books on Amazon when you first start. Everyone can sell used electronics, used toys, like anything in used condition, you can most likely sell that on Amazon. So if you're already familiar with eBay, just source the same way you would with eBay, but do it for Amazon, right? Download the Amazon app. When you go to the thrift shop, you pick up a VCR player that's still in the box. Just take out your phone and scan it, right? And then see what it sells for on Amazon. Type in the model number and look what it sells for on Amazon, and you'd be surprised. Like, you can source the same way that you're doing right now, except just do it for Amazon. Like, it's not that hard. You just kind of have to adjust a little bit, you know?
So would you recommend going ahead and get the Pro Merchant account, the one that's like $40 a month? Would you recommend starting out with that or not?
Okay, I would probably do the free one first, just to get the hang of it. I mean, like when I first started Amazon, I went right balls into it. Like I paid for the subscription right away because I knew this was going to be something that I was dedicated. But if you're not sure, if you're kind of still on the fence, I'd probably do the free one first. And if you start selling a couple things, like if you're like, oh shit, I sold 10 items this month, maybe, you know, next month buy for the membership, so that's what I would recommend.
All right, cool. I want to say hello to a few people in the chat. Diary of a Flipper is here, all the way from Australia. I wanted to say hey to SC Thrifted Treasures is here. I wanted to say hey to eBliss Reseller Solutions. The Cap Guy, Nakoma Finds was here. Julian, I think I missed the Twin Flippers is in the chat. So thanks for coming by and hanging out with us today. If you have questions for our guests, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Hey, Omar, so you got started and you're reselling on eBay, you're on Amazon, you're on Mercari. What are some hot items right now that is selling for you that we should kind of be on the lookout for? Can you recommend anything in particular?
Some hot items. That's a good one. Okay, so like cards in general, like sports cards, are hot right now. So if you see any sports cards at your store, definitely I would look them up first, of course. Like never buy anything without looking it up first. But a lot of sports cards right now are flipping pretty good. Swimming pools are hot right now. Like even last summer, swimming pools were crazy. This year, they're still hot, but only like the bigger pools are hot. Like the really tiny kiddie pools are not selling as well anymore, but the bigger ones are flipping really good, even locally. Like these pools that are like $260 at Walmart, you can sell them locally for like $420. Like I've been doing that, so it works. What else, man? I mean, Pokemon, everyone knows Pokemon's hot right now. It's not like as hot as it was like maybe 6 months ago, but a lot
Right.
of the times when they come out with a new Pokemon product, it's a quick flip. It can be like you buy it, you flip it, you try to sell it right then and there. You know, let me think. I mean, Funko Pops are still hot. Like every week, Funko releases like a limited edition Funko on their website, and most of the time it sells out, depending on like if it's a nice looking pop or whatever. Like a couple weeks ago, they had a pop that was like $8.99 and it sold out, and then now it's flipping on eBay for like $60 or $70. So Funko Pops are hot. Man, just like I said, anytime a new product comes out, I try to see like, are a lot of people talking about this product? Is it getting a lot of hype on Twitter, on Reddit, on Instagram? If I go to the company's Instagram page, did they get an unusual amount of likes on that post compared to all their other ones? If they did, then that leads me to believe that that might be a hot product. So stuff like that.
So Omar, this is something I've been wanting to talk to you about. Can you tell us a little bit about what your strategy is? Do you have replenishable items that you sell online? And can you tell us a little bit about what your strategy is and what works for you as far as selling replenishable items?
Of course, yeah, replenishable items. Most of the ones that I have are grocery items, but I have quite a few like office supply, some toys and stuff like that. Replenishable items, a lot of the times I find them by accident. Like I'm out there, I'm sourcing, I'm scanning stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, this has a good rank, a lot of reviews, and it's profitable. So let me buy a handful of them. Let me see how it works. And if it sells really quickly, like I said, I'll just go and buy maybe 2 or 3 times more than I bought the first time. And if all of those sell out, then I might buy double the amount the next time, And oh, this is random, but I would recommend you guys doing this. Go to your kitchen right now, download the Amazon seller app and just scan. Go around your whole house, not just your kitchen, like scan all your groceries, scan all your books, all your video games, and you're gonna be surprised. Like, oh shit, like this is worth money and I can sell this. So I've found replenishable items from my own like grocery, like a flavor of chips that I really like. And I'm like, okay, I'm bored. Let me scan this. Oh shit, I can flip this. Let me go to the store and buy 10 of them, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
All right, cool. We have a few questions here in the chat. Sneaker Hype wants to know, how did you learn what Amazon ranks are good for different categories? So if someone is unfamiliar with Amazon, Amazon is a little bit different. On eBay, you can kind of look at what's sold, and it'll show you like a snapshot of items that is sold in the past 90 days. But on Amazon, they have like a ranking, and the lower the number is, the better it is as far as sales rank. So you talk a little bit about sales rank on Amazon when you're scanning a barcode, because you don't just buy everything. You kind of pick and choose what you want to buy and what you want to send into Amazon. So can you break it down for us a little bit?
So, okay, this is kind of like a cheat sheet right here. It's kind of hard to see, but if you type in Amazon sales chart, like sales rank chart, it tells you each category. If you're in this rank, then you're in the top 1%. If you're in this rank, then you're in the top 5%. You want to stay within the top like 10%. So like if Amazon has like 10 million items listed in the clothing category, you want to kind of keep it at 1 million or below. Like your rank, you want your rank to be 1 million or below. And I kind of use this chart as kind of like a guide to like kind of guide me in the right direction. But there's a website called.
Tell them again what the name of the website is.
Okay, so for this chart, you would just type in Amazon sales rank chart on YouTube. The website is called Keepa. Now, Keepa is a website that will give you like way more data than you can get on your own. It tells you like how frequently an item sells on Amazon. It tells you how often the sales rank goes up and down. It tells you, basically, Keepa will like, without Keepa, like, I don't know how I would really even source. Like, I mean, I could source, but you would be making a lot more mistakes and you'd end up buying a lot more stuff that doesn't sell as well as you thought if you didn't use Keepa. So it's another subscription to add, but if you're starting to take Amazon seriously and you're starting to see some success, Keepa is a must, 100% sure. If you don't have Keepa, you can go by sales rank. You can go by how many reviews it has. If you look at the reviews, you can sort it by the newest. If people have been leaving reviews within the past couple months, that means the product is still selling good. So yeah, those are ways to like sales rank, reviews. Those are ways to check.
All right, cool. We have a question in the chat from Julie. It says, when you buy items at the store, do you tell the cashier that you resell them?
Yeah, okay. That's a funny question right there, because at the very beginning, when I didn't tell, I would make up every excuse in the book to why I'm buying this much stuff. Oh, I have a big family, or my mom works for, she's gonna donate this to some, whatever. I would come up with every excuse. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. If they ask me, why are you buying 100 bottles of Mountain Dew Baja Blast? I'm selling it on Amazon. I have never had a single employee deny me the sale because of that. Like, unless you're at Target, never tell Target you're a reseller. Any other place is fine. Target, never tell Target you're a reseller, because they actually have an anti-reseller policy, which is absolutely insane.
Will they kick you out?
They can deny the sale to you. They can just say, I can't sell it to you because we think you might be a reseller. But I tell people, I don't care. No one really cares. Like, if they're usually interested, they'll ask you questions like, oh, that's cool. Like, how much are you going to sell it for? Blah, blah, blah. That's about it.
Yeah. But man, a lot of times if I'm out doing some retail arbitrage and I'm hitting up 10 stores, I'm not here for small talk, because the places aren't open 24 hours. It's not like I can go to Walmart at 2:00 in the morning and scan and get products. So I'm going to 10 stores. I'm just trying to get in and out and check out as quickly as possible. I don't have time, because 99% of the people, even if I tell you that I'm a reseller, and if I come to you and say, hey, you can buy these items at the Dollar Tree and turn $10 into $120, maybe 1% of those people might actually go do it. The other 99 don't care. And even if they're like, oh, that's nice. And then they'll change the subject and talk about the weather or something, a sports game on TV. They don't get it. They're not, I would say 95% of the people they're not like entrepreneurs. So you're just wasting your time telling them like, hey, oh yeah, I did this, or I resold that. And they're like, well, that's nice. And then they go on about their day. Like, it doesn't do anything. That's kind of like if you're not a sports fan and I sit here and say, hey, Omar, did you watch the NBA playoffs last day? And I talk for 30 minutes and it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, if you don't watch sports, you don't watch NBA playoffs, that doesn't register to you. You're like, oh yeah, that's nice. You're trying to be nice, but it doesn't.
I'll just be sitting there. I'm like, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Right. Right. So Omar, this is something I wanted to get into a little bit today. Tell me kind of we talked a little bit of your backstory, and from what I gathered in another live stream, you actually went to college for a while, right? So you went to college. You were in school because you were a young guy in school. Because I went to college myself. I think I had about 70 or 80 college credit hours, and I was in community college, and I was paying my way through college. And it got to a certain point, and I was like, okay, now all these credit hours could transfer to this university. And I was like, for this degree I want, it's going to cost $100,000. And the average salary for a person with this degree is like $50,000 a year. So I'm like, I'd have to take a pay cut from a regular 9-to-5 job and be $100,000 in debt to get this degree. So when you were in college, what was your thought process? Were you, because for some people that are doctors or lawyers or pharmacists, they need that degree. But for a lot of people, they're not college people. They could be, they could be an auto mechanic, a plumber, a heating and air guy. There's other things they could do. So when you were in college, how did you transition? And you were looking left and looking right, and you were just like, bro, what am I doing here? Tell me about what happened, man.
Man, I don't. College, okay. I feel like I kind of just went there to make my mom happy. To be honest with you, I knew in the bottom of my heart, this wasn't for me, but I was willing to give it a chance. Okay, so I was interested in business, but I still wasn't at that point where I was confident that could be my full-time thing. So environmental science was what I chose to be my degree. And I mean, I kind of liked it. It's just kind of making the world a better, trying to save the world, basically, environmental science. So I went to college. I went to community college for a year, and I dropped
Right.
out. And I dropped out.
Yeah.
I could. Oh man, every day when I went there, I was miserable. Let me tell you, like, I
Right.
just didn't like. You spend 12. Like, first of all, I'm not bashing college. Like you just said, college for some people, it can really help you and really benefit you, like depending on what you want to do with your life. Like if you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, college, if you want to do business, you honestly, you can learn everything they're going to teach you about business in college at home. 100%. Everything that they can teach you about business in college, you can learn that at home by yourself. And that's basically what I did. I was going to college every day and I was miserable. I was like, I don't want to. I went to school for 12 years of my life, my whole life. And now I have to go for 4 more years or 6 more years
Right.
just to be in debt and working for someone else.
Right.
And I just didn't want to go that way. Like, I know that's how my whole family went, but like, this is 2021. Like, we have way different opportunities than our grandparents did and our great grandparents did, So
Right. Right.
I took a risk and it worked. I mean, like when you're young, you should be taking these kind of risks, like I can always go back
I'm
to
with you.
college. Like, college isn't going anywhere. If I really want to, I can go get a degree at age 30 or 35, you know? So I took the risky route and I mean, it's going all right so far. It's going all right. And I never look back. I'm so glad I dropped out of college. I would do it again if I had to,
So, what did your parents say at the time? Because you kind of wanted, you had to do something to keep them happy because they weren't just going to be like, you can't just sit home and and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
watch Wheel of Fortune or watch Jerry Springer and eat
Yeah.
nachos. Like you
Playing
have to do something
Pokemon. Yeah.
productive. So when you came home and it's like, man, this whole college thing ain't for me. I'm sure they weren't happy about that, right?
Oh nah. Okay, so I live with it's just me and my mom and my sister. So
Right.
um I didn't tell my mom at first. I lied. I'm not even gonna lie. The first like week or two, I was
Right. Right.
pretending to go to college and I was like not actually going. And I'm just thinking like, oh fuck, how am I gonna tell mom? Like I spent 2 weeks thinking of like a script of like how to break the news to her the best way possible without her freaking out on me. Okay.
Right. Okay.
And I told her I got a job first before I told her. Like I got a job at CVS as a pharmacy technician.
Right.
So I told her like, Mom, I'm dropping out of college. It's just not for me. It's not working out. I just can't do it, Mom. Like I'm gonna work here at CVS and I'm just gonna do my business on the side and we'll see where it goes. Like I really want my business to be my full-time job, right? She didn't believe
Right.
me at first because I wasn't really making a lot of money off the business, right?
Right.
But then time passed and the business started growing and she just stopped. She didn't say nothing anymore. Like she didn't give me no, oh, come on, go back to college or blah, blah, blah. You're ruining your life. But
Okay.
she's cool with it now. She's cool with it now.
Okay, so at that time, you just were like, I don't know 100% for sure what I'm going to do. I'm taking this job at CVS, but I just know that this whole college thing ain't for me. But you did there. You tried it out for a year, and that's what I say is like, look, guys, if you don't know if something's for you or not, try it out. Because
Yeah.
if you try something out for 60 or 90 days or 6 months or a year and it ain't for you, that's cool. But at least you put the energy in it and you put the effort. You were like, hey, let me go try it out. So,
Right.
Omar, man, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so I got to talk to you, man. Where do you get this energy from, bro? You just have this energy, like you had an energy drink, bro. You have this like college kid like swagger. You just have this confidence about you. Tell us where all this comes from, man, because I can feel your energy, man. That you're just a different type of person, man. So tell us about this, man.
I have no clue. Like, honestly, people ask me that all the time, and I don't know. Like, I really don't know, man. I'm just happy. Like, I just love my job. I love my life. Like, I wake up every day and I'm like, let's get to work. Like, what did we sell today? Like, hell yeah. Like, let's make more money than we did yesterday. Like, it's just the fact that I work for myself. I have no boss. I work when I want to work and I can take a break when I want to break. I'm just like, I barely have any stress, you know? So that's kind of what
Right.
keeps me so happy and so like energized and stuff. Like just waking up every day and knowing that like however much effort I put in today, that's how much I'm gonna get out, you know, as opposed to
Right.
like, oh shit, let me go to this CVS and it doesn't matter how hard I work, I'm still gonna get $10 an hour, you know, and just my mindset just completely changed once I like quit my job and like went full time reselling. I was just like happy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so tell me, man, how does your typical day work? Because you're self-employed, you're a full-time reseller. What it is it that you do on a regular day? So do you wake up? Let's say you wake up at 9 o'clock. What does your regular typical day look like for you?
Okay, so usually, okay, I've been trying to wake up early. I've been really trying because, especially like, because I'm doing stock trading now. The stock market opens at 9:30, so I try to wake up at 8:30 so I can do some research for like the first hour, right? So normally, what I do, if it's a weekday, I wake up, do my normal brush teeth, whatever, blah blah blah, stock market research for the first hour, and then I trade. I might trade a couple things. I might open a new position. I might sell some stuff off. Stock market for like 8:30 a.m. to like 2 p.m. Or like something like that. Then I'll get the orders ready, pack all the orders, ship them out, come home. I'll try to come home around 3 o'clock, and then or around 3:30. So then I have one last hour before the stock market closes, and a lot of prices like can go up and down like during the last hour, right? So um, then after that, it just depends on what I'm feeling like doing. If I feel like listing this afternoon, I'll list. If I feel like taking photos, I'll do that. If I feel like just chilling and doing nothing for the rest of the day, then I'll do that. It really depends on like how I'm feeling. I don't have a set schedule except for the stock market and shipping the stuff out. But once it's past 4:30 p.m., I do whatever the hell I really want, to be honest with you.
All right. Now, from talking to you, it seems like you're a really goal-oriented type of person, and you're really focused on hey, I'm here, and 6 months or a year from now on my road to 1 million, I need to be here. So, what keeps you focused and motivated? And what are some tips that you can help people if they're not motivated, they're not a goal-oriented person? Because I hear from people all the time that may have 1,000 items sitting in the death pile, but for
Yeah,
whatever reason, they just can't get around to getting them like listed on the platform. So
for
what do
sure.
you what do you do to help make kind of have tunnel vision, focus, locked in? Because nobody has problem sourcing. It's just maybe
Nobody.
shipping, maybe
Yeah,
listing, all the other stuff that goes along with it. You got marketing, you have to list
yeah.
the item, then maybe you put your items on promoted listings, then you have shipping, you have pulling orders. So tell me, what is it that helps keep you like driven and focused and motivated when you don't feel like it? Because everybody has days when maybe they just don't feel like doing the work.
That's the biggest struggle. I think that's the biggest struggle of all resellers have that same type of thing. Me personally, I still struggle with that. Like I don't want people to think that I'm always motivated. I might seem that way on one of my stories, but I have definitely have times where I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like the workload is just piling up, and I'm just like, oh, I just don't feel like it. A couple of different things like that can really kick my ass into gear. Like watching other people on YouTube and Instagram, watching them hustle, watching people list. Like there's this one OBX picker. He does this live stream where he like lists items on eBay like the whole day. Like he'll do like a 7 hour live stream of him just listing stuff, right? I love watching stuff like that because that makes me want to get off my ass and go list, right? Like when I see people, they found some really crazy stuff at a yard sale and they sold it and it sold the next day. And I'm just like, damn, I have all this stuff sitting here. I need to do that too. So that's kind of one thing that helps me get motivated by watching other people who are getting work done. Another thing is I daydream. I daydream like about like the future and like where I want to be in 5 or 10 years from now. Like when I'm feeling unmotivated, I'll just start visualizing in my head like this is why you're doing this. You're doing this for the house, for the kids, for the warehouse, for the employees, for the generational wealth. You know, all these reasons. I daydream about that and I think about that, and then that kicks my ass in gear real quick. You know,
Right.
because it's easy to lose focus and lose sight like why you're doing this. Like why are you selling on eBay? Why are you doing Amazon? You know, when I start thinking about the why and like the purpose of all this shit, that really kicks my ass into gear, you know?
Yeah, well, it's easy to do it when the sales are flowing in, but when it's summer slowdown, your sales are
Yeah,
dead, and you feel like you're listening and listening and listening, and you're not seeing immediate results, and then
yeah.
it's kind of like you feel like you're banging your head up against the wall. So you were talking a little bit about you having plans because you're still a young guy. Where do you see yourself maybe in the next 3 to 5 years with your business? Because you've just got a warehouse, you got this big warehouse, you're going to have your own little mini warehouse, your own little mini storage or warehouse. What are some of the goals and plans that you have for yourself in the future?
Um, okay, could you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
I said, what are some of your goals or plans you have for yourself in the future in the next 3, 4, 5 years from now? Like, what is it that you see yourself doing? You said maybe you're down the road, you wanted to hire some employees.
Yeah,
Like, what
yeah,
is
okay.
some of the things that you see yourself doing in the down the road?
Yeah, I mean, definitely creating jobs. Like, I really want to create jobs and kind of make a difference in my community. So, like I said, I'm talking to a couple of people right now that could really use like the extra money. Like, these are people that I went to school with, and you know, some people they just they get off track a little bit. Everyone does that, you know. So I want to help. I want to help them out and give them an opportunity, you know, to get some extra money. Um,
Right.
you know, so I'm trying to create opportunities, create jobs. I definitely want to like get to the point where all the hard work is being done by other people. Like I want to get to the point where I'm just working smarter and not working harder. Um, and you know, just I don't know. Like I watch a lot of people like Amazon Lit on Instagram. He has created like his own empire. Like his warehouse looks like a damn Amazon fulfillment warehouse. Like he has employees, he has forklifts, pallets coming in and out. Like I want that. Like I want the pallets, I want
Oh
the
man, I'm with
forklifts.
you, man. Yeah, we just had Amazon Lit was on here about a month ago, so I know who
Really?
you're talking about. Yeah, he was just.
Yeah.
If you guys get a
He's
chance to check it out, he was on here for like a half hour about a month ago. So I'm actually planning on meeting up with him. He's having like different meetups in like Houston and
uh,
Miami, and I live in Tampa, so he's going to have a meetup in Orlando. So I might sneak in there because
yeah,
I mainly sell on eBay. But if you can kind of soak up knowledge from people
yeah.
that's doing $400,000 a month in sales, you,
Oh
you
yeah.
want to you want to hang out with people like that network because even if you don't know nothing about that area, that niche, you just want to be around like-minded people. They're going to help you get to where you want to be down the road. So hey, let me say hello to my buddy Jennifer Hayes is here. She has a thumbs up in here and she dropped your link in the chat. Tell us a
Thank
little
you,
bit
thank
about
you.
your YouTube channel. Are you going to make any new videos in the future? Because you seem like a busy guy. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to put you on the spot, but I
No,
have
I
your
got you. I got
YouTube and Instagram link down below. Jennifer Hayes dropped your link so they can go by and follow you. Or are we going to
you.
expect
Yeah.
any videos from you maybe this summer, maybe a 10, 15-minute video, hanging out
Yeah.
with Omar? You could do something, maybe a video, do a haul video. Tell us about that.
So yeah, YouTube, man, I got really hyped over that, and I just kind of didn't realize how much time actually gets put into these YouTube videos. Like, because a lot of YouTubers don't even really talk about it. They don't really show the behind the scenes, like the editing and all of the different like the recording, and like sometimes you have to redo it because it didn't come out right the first time, and it's like, oh man, it's definitely a time consuming thing, YouTube. But I definitely want to upload a couple more videos on there because a lot of people have been telling me like, you know, you should make some YouTube. And
Yeah.
um, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm kind of just gonna upload like a compilation video of like highlights like throughout the whole year, or maybe highlights from the past couple years, things that I think were memorable moments, and I might just make like a 10-minute video of just like random highlights throughout the whole year, because I
Yeah.
feel like that would be a little easier for me to do, you
Yeah,
know?
you could do that, or you can just do some listing lives. So you can just be like, "Hey guys, here's me
Yeah,
hanging out in the warehouse, shipping some items out." People like seeing what sold videos. Just like a quick
right.
few-minute video here. So we have a bunch of people in the chat. I wanted to give a shout out to Cali Reseller Louise is in the chat. The Lone Star Picker is here. Julian is here. Rescue Resell is in the chat, and Jennifer Hayes is here. And the real Ross Boss is in the
The
chat,
real
guys.
Ross
So,
Boss.
man, I've been following the Ross Boss for a while. If you guys aren't following him, go check him out. He's going to be on the channel next week, the real Ross Boss. So it's super exciting. And yeah, Jennifer Hayes said maybe do some shorts. So we've had you on the channel for about 50 minutes. Jennifer says, "What's up with this camera?" I don't know. It's been going in and out today. We're just trying to do the best we can. We're back now. So hey, Omar, now can you give us maybe top 3 tips that would help somebody with their reselling business? If they're reselling on eBay or Amazon, what would be some of your top tips or tricks, or you can drop some knowledge on us? Go ahead.
Man, okay, for Amazon, like the biggest tip is like read the rules, study the rules, like study everything about Amazon. They have a website called Amazon Seller University. Go there and research and study this. Like for Amazon, it's so different than eBay and Mercari because they don't give you that many chances. If you screw up, they might not even give you a second chance. They might just kick you off the platform. So that's why, like with Amazon, study before you even think about like making an account. Like you want to know all the rules. There's even a YouTube channel called Amazon Seller University, and they have a bunch of videos. If you don't like reading, you can just put a video on and just learn. For eBay, I mean, just consistency, you know? Like I struggle with that myself too, but it's something that I'm working on. I used to like not list anything for like the whole week, and then I would list like 50 items in one day or something like that. And that's okay, but I think it would be better if I listed 2 or 3 or 4 items a day, like a small amount of items a day. It's doable, you know? If you try to set your goal at 10 items a day, it's not as like easy to obtain that. 2 or 3 items a day listed, that's gonna add up over. Next thing you know, 2 months from now, you have hundreds of items listed on eBay, you know? So that's second tip is consistency for eBay. And number 3 is just stepping out of your comfort zone, right? And I try to preach this a lot. Like I have a lot of people on Instagram like, oh, I don't know anything about electronics. I don't really deal with that. Or even me personally, I was like, oh, I don't know anything about women's clothing. I'm just gonna completely ignore that. I started stepping outside of my box more, and I started making more profit because if you alienate yourself to just 3 categories, then the likelihood of you leaving the thrift shop or wherever with a profitable item, it goes down. But if you widen your like what the stuff that you look for, start looking for, if you don't know anything about electronics, maybe start looking at electronics, and then you're gonna be like, oh shit, like I'm finding more profitable stuff because I'm looking for more different categories now. Like, you know, even like kids clothing, you know, you can make money off anything, you know?
Right. All right, cool. So yeah, guys, go by and check out Omar. All his links are down below for YouTube and Instagram. The East Coast Flipper, hashtag Road to a Million. So go by, go give him a follow. Go check him out, bro. We appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me today. And I appreciate everybody in the chat for hanging out with me on the 4th today. We have Sal is here in the chat, Jennifer Hayes, the real Ross Boss is here. I'm super excited to see him. Julian is here. Rescue Resell, the Lone Star Picker, Keller Reseller Louise, Sneaker Hype. We got the Diary of a Flipper, SC Thrifted Treasures, and anybody else in the chat that I missed today. Thanks for hanging out, and hope you guys have a great 4th of July. Omar, go ahead and bring us out, bro. Give us any final thoughts that you might have.
I just want to say thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone for coming and watching and joining us. Hope you all have a good 4th of July. And, you know, just stay consistent. That's all I got to say. Get that money.
All right, I'm with you guys. Hey, if you guys want to come by tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, I have that man is going to be here. He used to be formerly known as Fat Man the Flipper. He's going to be here tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern. He's lost like 100 pounds in the past 6 months or something. So we're going to go by and catch up with him, and we'll have a great time. So I'll see you then. Until then, you guys have a great 4th of July weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
See ya.